maybe I can tell something of my own development, and then that says something also about this generation of OD people, because I've been in the business for 25 years now. So I think, like most people of this generation, I started with large-scale change. And what we had at that time, so this was beginning 80s, late 70s, we had a lot of theory, on the one hand, psychology, so how to deal with people, but that was completely separate from all the theory about large-scale change, which was more cognitive, more, I guess, American, more rewards and sanctions. And I was 22 when I started as a consultant, so I had this great belief that behavior would change if you would reward the good behavior and sanction the bad behavior. And of course it works for a short time, and then you turn around and everyone changes back again. And so from that, and I think like most people, I thought, well, we need something more effective. So we had all this socio-technical theory, and it wasn't enough. So then I went, and I think most movement went into more group relations kind of stuff, which was more about how to deal with groups, how group dynamics work. And we had a bit more psychology at that moment. And then later, like most people, I think, if this generation of OD people thought, well, I've done groups, but if I can influence one leader and touch his heart and his mind, then the whole system beneath works. So then really psychological knowledge was important. And so you got all sorts of things like NLP and Gestalt and TA came back again after the 50s, and then the 70s it went down, and then it came back again really in the 80s, 90s. You saw these, and especially the 90s, these psychological theories became more important. And I think it has to do with a focus on big and small, so groups and individuals now. And it's a good balance. I think it's really important to have.
I heard that you've been traveling a lot, working internationally. For example, you're nearly an honorary Hungarian citizen, as I heard about your workshops.
I hope so.
But it must be very interesting to see how these theories work or practices work in different cultures.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of difference in that?
Oh, absolutely. I've done, if I compare my work, like I work in Holland a lot, in France, in Switzerland, I worked in Brazil and Mexico and Singapore and Korea and China. And the differences, especially in how to get into contact, mostly how to get into contact individually, is very different. And also the states of economic growth are very different. So like in Holland you have a mature market, and there I work more as someone who has to help organizations become smaller and cut and become more efficient. Where in China I do projects, that's all boom, it's growth, and there my work is much more about helping them catch up with themselves in the organization. So yes, the OD work is very different, and I think also, I guess the style of relationship and of leadership of projects is very different.
One of the subtitles of this conference is co-creating new organizations.
Yes.
And they are talking a lot about this difficult time nowadays for organizations. Do you share this view that there is a change?
I share the view there is a change. I don't share the view there is a difficult time. It really depends on the story you tell, because some organizations, they see a crisis and they go, oh, we're scared and we don't it's especially cash flow. Cash flow is very difficult. And so people, from fear, from this idea of scarcity, they really close off and fire people. But for me, every crisis is an opportunity for change, because you could also say, thank God there's a crisis, because it's forcing us to think about what is really important. And I've got more work now than I did before, because I really believe in crisis as opportunity.
different professional or international organizations taking part in this conference, which is also a change from, one international group of people going from one year to the other to conferences, which is important.
Yes.
It's very important because that's very strong networking. Yes. But this kind of conference, I think it does create new opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's almost counterintuitive, because usually what you see in a period of crisis, certainly amongst consultants, is that they split, and it's a fragmentation force. And the fact that they've been able to get people together is just, it's amazing and really a model. Yeah.
It's nice to see the different generations working together. It's quite a wide range of generations. Yeah,
I felt, on the one hand, I felt very young in the opening panel. I thought, but I am a founding father of organizational TA, but then I look around and I think, okay, this is
maybe not.
No, of TA, yes, but it's a different generation.
Yeah, it's a different.
And what's beautiful about it is that there's more that binds us than that separates us.